Greetings everyone present, and we shall be having a talk now from Kristi about community building with emphasis on diversity, equity and inclusion in FOSS. I'll let her have the stage.
Thank you. Thank you very much for joining my talk. I know there are millions of and hundreds of presentations around, like, the globe, and especially here, so choosing my presentation in general, it's super nice, and I feel so good about that. Today I will be talking about community building, and especially the DEI focus. For those who don't know me or has never heard about me, I'm Kristi. I'm the program manager for the GNOME Foundation. I've been involved with the GNOME Foundation for like around 5 years now. And beside that, I'm part of the Chaos DEI team since 2021. It's actually a project of the Linux Foundation with a focus on the diversity, equity, and inclusion. And this is a team that's dedicated mostly just to how to improve the free software communities, to have a better diversity among them, and how we can improve other software communities. And beside that, I've been a free software advocate and contributor since 2012, and a member of Open Labs Hackerspace back in my hometown in Albania. Yeah, this is like a quick wrap up from what I've done so far. On 2018, I finished my studies for diplomacy and international relations, and after that, I started my work at the GNOME Foundation. And since then, since when I started getting more involved with GNOME, this is also the time that I started to put more focuses and to also attend some Debian conferences and to be more in touch with other communities. So the importance of community, having a healthy community and having people actually part of the free software environment in general is super important. And I've stated here some of the reasons. The first one is that it's a collaborative work towards a common goal. So being in the same place and having the same focus helps a lot to reach it faster, since everybody is in the same team and everybody wants to move forward with that. So it's one of the best ways to reach a goal. It creates a bigger voice that increases chances of getting heard. So this is one of the cases, I guess, with the DebConf and with other conferences, that being a group of people, it's even better than being just one and asking for things. So when there are many people involved with this part of communities and towards the goal, the chances that the things would get done, it's way higher than just being one. And of course, it creates a support network, it's mutual help, we have friends that are part of our community, we have people that we know, and it creates a safer and a better environment. And also, one of my favorites is that it gives people a sense of belonging, which means that being in these good environments and being in these friendly ones makes us feel even more comfortable to collaborate with each other. We establish good connection, which means that I'm pretty sure that many people of us, besides having good friends around, we have people that we spend time, and we have people that we call friends after we finish conferences, because we get to know them way more. And it's also a big and a great way to also like get into jobs or looking for other opportunities, such as other connections for internships or for schooling. And it fosters communications among people, which is one of the key things, to have like good communication with each other. So in this way, we can solve problems way easier, and we can actually identify what works best and what doesn't work best and needs improvement. Coming from a small community, I will somehow do like a comparison between small communities and big communities. Coming from a small community, there are some ups and downs, let's say. One of the biggest disadvantages is that there are way fewer people, which means that if we would like to get something done, and it's in a very bigger scale, it means that it will take us more energy, and it of course increases the possibility of people getting burned out because of working too much. And it's, let's say, it can be the different in big communities, because there will be many people, and in this way we can divide what we'll work on in a better way, let's say. In small communities, especially in Tirana, we have seen a lot of problems, let's say, especially with the funds. When the country is smaller, the connections maybe are not like super well, and we don't get to have access in many of the funds, like let's say European Union or other funds that are just regional and that we could have been part of. And with the big communities, it's completely different. They have access to the funds, and it's better to get things going and to have better connection and to organize better things. So what I'd like to emphasize, especially in these slides, is that having big communities and having many, many people part of what you're doing helps a lot to also reach the goal that you would like to achieve by the end of any project or in the end of a certain amount of time. And one of the most important parts is also the diversity and having people from many backgrounds. And this is especially regarding the backgrounds on the knowledge, the cultural backgrounds. It's so important to have people that have different opinions. In this way, it's the best way to go from point A to point B in a better and in a more effective way, let's say. And also it's very, very fun to get to know things that you didn't know before and to get to know new friends and new cultures that you would never know otherwise. There are a few steps which might look easy, but it's not easy at all to do that on, in person and to actually apply those. But just to give a general idea on how to start a community, first it's important the purpose. Why are you doing this? And this is one of the key things that you should never lose the focus on why you started to build a community and why you start to actually put all the efforts on something. The other thing is who we are. Who are the people that will work with you? What are their knowledges? Are they part of for example, of the free software communities, or they are coming from other fields, and how they can be an added value to this project. The other step is what's success. This is also super important because it's very crucial to know what will you call a success and what will you call a failure in the end of the project. And you can also, like from time to time, when you are developing a project, you can come back to this step and see, are we actually in the right direction? Are we actually trying to achieve what we wanted to achieve since in the beginning? The other one is how to join and what we do. How to join, this is also, I would say, the most important part of getting to know in a community is the documentation, in my opinion, and having the information, especially for the newcomers, on how to contribute and what to get during this whole project and during this whole journey. Again, what we do, it's so, like, this is one of the steps that we need to have it like from time to time and to check, just to mind and just to keep track of what we are actually and what we want to focus on. How to contribute. Having a wiki or having a place that you list all the things that you will need help with, all the things that you'd like to start, all the things that you'd see yourself or that you'd see the team that you're working on actually working more in the future. It would be great to have in this step. And the final one is the channel. Where are you guys going to coordinate? What will you work on? And having many channels, or having the channel that would work the best, it would also help the rest of the community to have a better communication with each other. If one of the other things that it's super important is to get to know and to listen to each other. Coming from different backgrounds, it's not easy at all sometimes because you have different opinions on different things. The key is to negotiate, and the key is to try and make everyone feel respectable and to also be empathic on what other people are thinking and what they would want to achieve. The other thing is how to engage new people and keep community members active. One of the best ways that I've also tried in my experience is to go to universities and recruit students and people that would love to help and join the free software communities. One of the best things that have worked for me personally is not just going to the universities that are doing the engineering or the computer sciences, but also recruiting students that are not part of the sciences, let's say, but coming from social sciences. This is also a super good way to get them in the community, as they would bring new perspectives and new ideas on how to maintain it and how to make it cooler. The other thing that works perfectly in my case is also to empower people and to include them more in the decision-making activities, even if it's someone that has just started. But as the time will pass, it's so important to give them a sort of level of the leadership, as they would empower them and give them the confidence that they can take a project from the point A to the point B, and that they can succeed with it. So that this is also super important. Distributing responsibilities, giving credit where credit is due. It's important to thank people for their work and what they have done so far. Share the results of their work, whether it's possible, and also to keep in mind that all this hard work that is done by the volunteers, it's not easy at all. So thanking them, giving credits, and also giving some sort of appreciation to them is so important for the health of the overall community. I will try to run a little bit on these slides, as I'd like also to get some questions if there are any. Just a quick 2 words here in this slide. As I mentioned, diversity, equity, and inclusion is so important, and you can see here in this conference there are people from all around the world with different backgrounds from different countries, and this is what is making this experience so unique and so beautiful, getting to meet all of you. And even if you don't remember all of these things, as long as you do a fair treatment to everyone, to give equal opportunities to people, connect with each other, value and respect, it should be enough to make people feel comfortable, to make people feel good around you, and also to make this whole conference or in FLOSS software projects in general a better place to be in. This is definitely a long learning process. It's not easy to achieve all these things, but as the time passes, as the mistakes maybe are done, we get to learn 1 or 2 things. And I would like to conclude this presentation with an interesting expression that one of my friends actually said in a conference, that an apartment is just a physical place. It eventually becomes home when people breathe, love, discuss, argue, celebrate, and share it. In the same way, an open source project eventually becomes a true community when its contributors fill it with passion and joy. Thank you so much. If you have any questions, please feel free.
We'll be taking questions now. Anyone has any questions?
Guess I was super clear.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'd like everyone to thank Kristi, and we'll have another round of applause for Kristi. Thank you for joining us today.